Hello, all of you out there. This is another video. It's going to be a very random video. Don't expect this to be... Where is the moon today? Where is the moon today as I'm doing this? Where is it? I think in Sagittarius. So yes, it's going to be a bit all over the place. But I'm going to talk about quite a Sagittarian topic here. And I want to talk about two things. First of all, a bit about Jupiter in Libra, and then because a lot of people asked how I was doing, and I have to say the reason why I'm not mentioning that is just my character, I suppose. I mean, I said it in other videos that I don't like to talk about myself too much. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I will answer some questions and talk a little bit about the books that I'm reading at the moment and that have helped me with my health. So, but let's get started. Jupiter in Libra, and I want to talk, when I talk about health, I want to talk about Jupiter as well. You know, the moon is now in the Jupiter sign of Sagittarius. And why do I associate Jupiter with health? Because Jupiter is now in Libra, so actually Jupiter is more about your belief system. What do you believe in? What do you think is very important and meaningful? It's your opinions that you have. It's how you look upon life, you know. Yes, but another part of it is if we want to heal and if we want to help others. And in a way, in the supportive way of the Sagittarian, you know, the Sagittarian is known as someone who is supportive, and it does. They don't want anything back for it. The only thing they want is that you grow and you develop better, and so that you can explore the world. That you see a lot of people who've got Saggy in their chart that are coaches and therapists, and maybe not therapists, maybe more coaching, you know, motivating others, or in any kind of job. So that's one thing. So now with Jupiter in Libra, there's a lot of meaning in relationships. There is a lot of meaning in fairness and justice. And so this is going to be very important for 1 year. And I like this Jupiter in Libra, especially with the new moon there that we recently had. And especially, I look forward to some aspects that Jupiter is going to make with Pluto and also with Uranus next year. And next year we have a Venus in Aries going retrograde, and that's going to have all kinds of aspects with the Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus. So there's quite a lot of emphasis this year, next year on relationships, and especially all kind of relationships. I mean, with clients, with lovers, with friends, with your children, and how we do them in a fair way, you know. Don't forget that Libra, the pitfall of the Libra is keeping up the appearances. The pitfall of Libra is definitely that they are a hypocrite. You know, if you are a Libran out there, don't get shocked here. I mean, that's typical of the Libra energy, the negative side. I mean, everyone is expressing that energy in a different way. But that's something to look out for, because this Libra energy is indeed at its best fantastic, as I said, to have more a bit balance in relationships. There is a Belgian expression which I'm going to translate directly, which is crazy, but they say you have to do a little bit of water in your wine with relationships, and that means so you have to do a little bit of water in the wine. So the wine isn't. It's a bit watery, but it's about that balance, about the give and take, and about I'm me being me. And but also about we're social creatures here, you know. We can't just live in, well, we can do that, live in the middle of nowhere all by ourselves and isolated, but that's not really our happiest state. So, and with Jupiter now in Libra, and then Uranus in Aries, and next year opposing each other, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that plays out in people's lives, you know, that balance, which is so difficult to create. So Jupiter in Libra can help us absolutely to have healthy boundaries with other people, so to not be too loose, to not be too strict, to have that fairness, what is really fair, and not to go into that pitfall of people pleasing. You know, I do everything for you, and that's also a downside, you could say, or a pitfall for the Libran. You know, they do everything. They don't know what they want. They just are so focused towards what other people want. And that causes, of course, problems. Having said that, Jupiter is also about, in your chart, if you look at your own Jupiter, that is where you can heal yourself. And that is where you can heal others as well. So you might have noticed that, I certainly have noticed that in my life, that people who've got a Jupiter on my sun sign, or on my ascendant, or on my moon sign, they're kind of healers for me. And that is because this positive, supportive nature of Jupiter. So actually, and I have looked recently about the people who have helped me out with my health, and they all had Jupiter in one of these signs. So that's why it's so beneficial. And that is why, if I would say, for instance, oh, this is a doctor that is that has helped me out very, very well, I recommend them to you. That's not a good thing to do. You know why? Because you have another chart, and the Jupiter of that doctor can fall in another place of your chart. And that's why sometimes that doesn't work. You know, you can have a sibling that says, that's a very good acupuncturist or whatever, and you go with them and you say, nothing happens. That's really natural, because there is this special connection, you could say. If someone's Jupiter is falling on one of those 3 points, you know, the ascendant, the sun, and the moon, these people can do a lot of good for you, especially when it's bang on. So, and the same with you. You can look at your own Jupiter, and you can look at what you need to heal. So if you have, for instance, a Jupiter in the fire signs, so that would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, you could say that doing fiery things, doing active things, can help you to heal. And you've got people like that. You've got people, when they are ill, they're going to jog, or they're going to do more exercise, and other people, you know, that would be disastrous. That would get very, very tired and even more ill. So for everyone, it's different. And then you've got Jupiter in the water signs, which would be Cancer, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. This is totally different. This is more emotional. This more has to do with the element of water. So literally, going in a bath or whatever, or showering, can do good, can do well. All these kind of things when you have Jupiter in a water sign. And it's a lot about emotions and, you know, digging a bit deeper in understanding that and letting the emotions flow. Then you can have it in earth sign, Jupiter in Virgo, Jupiter in Taurus, Jupiter in Capricorn. There to heal, the best thing you could do is getting practical, is working in your garden, doing some art. The best way you can heal others is through your practicalities, like making a nice meal for someone who's ill, you know, all these kind of practical things. So being very earthly. And then Jupiter in the air signs, which would be like now Jupiter in Libra, Jupiter in Aquarius, and Jupiter in Gemini, is getting social. You know, if you are ill, get social, talk to people, talk about your, or read about what is going on with you. And the same for you, being a good support for other people who are a bit ill, is you giving them some lightness, some talking, and so on and so on. So this is pretty interesting if you have a look at, and I haven't even mentioned the aspects then. The aspects to your Jupiter are also important. But anyways, that can help you. So find out and have a look at where your Jupiter is. If you're feeling ill, you can tap into those energies. Now, a lot of people have asked me, how am I doing and what am I doing? Well, how am I doing? Fine, quite fine. But still, my problem isn't solved. I just try to I have a bit of a teeth problem there of an accident I had 30 years ago, and four teeth need to be, redone, and it's right in the face, so it's a bit like that. So, and it has to do with the bones and the cheekbones as well, and I want to spare you the details, but it's pretty drastic. It's pretty it has to be restored, in a very Plutonian way. And sometimes we need to dig very deep, in the Scorpionic Plutonic way. We need to dig very deep in order to heal totally. Now, but what I've been, and I will have some procedure there around the end of October. But I'm doing the videos already now, so whilst a lot of planets will be in my 12th house, so I can recuperate a little bit by doing nothing at all. That's why I'm doing all the videos now. So, but another thing I wanted to talk about is this, okay, what did I do? I did a lot of reading. I did a bit of reading, and I'm quite lucky to have friends who are all healers, basically, or now at this particular moment. I have a very good friend who is what is the name? I'm going to look it up in a minute. I have a very good friend. It's actually my new sister-in-law. She is an acupuncturist. Then I have a friend who does massages and who's a specialist in that, and she's really good at it. And then I have a friend who, and I said I mentioned that in a video, but I can't recall it. I'm going to hang on there. Don't go away. I'm going to look it up for you. Oh no, it's on my. No, I can't look it up for you. But it's the name of what she's doing. It's not Shiatsu. I said Shiatsu, but it's not that. It's Yin Yatsu or something. Yin Yatsu or something like that. I think it's Japanese, and it's not about massage or anything, but it's about touching. So if you know what it is, just write it down in below in the comments. It's Yin Yatsu or something like that. Now I've been discovering all these things. I mean, whilst I was not feeling that well, and through friends. Another good friend of mine, which I'm going to do a video with, but it's going to be in Dutch, so I will upload it in the on my Dutch French YouTube channel. It's going to be next month or within a month or two, because she doesn't know any English, so, and I respect that. But she's a, how do you call that, nutritionist. So she is specialized in everything that has to do with food, everything that has to do with minerals and vitamins and all of that. And she just graduated on that. So it's like, she graduated, I got ill, she could immediately help me. And so it's also a bit healing, and that's my point here, or the best way, in my point of view, because I know a lot of people would say it's the nutrition, and that is everything. I don't agree with that. It's just a part. And other people will say, you have to do soul digging, and you have to dig very deep in a psychological level and go back to the roots of what happened to your mom and your dad and whatever. Yeah, a part of it, but that's not all of it. My point of view to heal, and whatever it is that you need to heal from. I mean, on the when it's I want to say so much at the same time. When you're getting ill, it's actually not like, oh, now my body is aching. No, it's actually already for a very long time in your energetic level that something already went wrong, and that's our body is the densest thing of that you can imagine here in this world, where the soul can incarnate in. And but everything happens on other levels as well, on higher levels. You could say, some call it the energetic field, and others call it I don't know. But you've got different layers. You're not just this body, you're way more. And you have way more influence than just here. So when you're already ill and when it's in the body, it means that you haven't understood it. So it's already coming from the same with accidents. People who've got an accident, It's also like a bit of a, hey, there's something that is not understood here, that the soul or the highest levels of us wants us to know. So we have to dig a little bit deeper then. We have to materialize it so that they do get it with pain or with aches or whatever. So, and the thing is, my belief is that the Sagittarian way of healing is the best, which is looking at all those levels. I think I mentioned that as well in my Chiron videos, that when there's something wrong with you or you're not feeling well, you have to work on all levels. Yes, it's good to work on the, and let's get started. You know, the most, I think that the more you work on the highest level, the better. You can work, like, you can say, oh, I'm going to work on my nutrition, for instance. That's going to solve a lot, absolutely. But I don't think if you're not doing the other work, that it's going to help you. It might help you in a complementary way a little bit, you could say. Let's say you eat too much fat, whatever, and you have too much cholesterol. Yeah, that might help you if you are not going to do that anymore. But still, other people who eat a lot of fat are not getting that high cholesterol. So, and this is something that this book explains very well. It's a very old one. It's a Dutch astrologer. She is called Melly Uildert. She became 100 years old. I'm not kidding you. She became 100 years old. And she was a herbalist, you know. She really practiced what she preached. And so her books are full of these things, are full of medical astrology, which is I find it quite difficult to understand. But it's fascinating. And she also explains why, if you have two people and there is bacteria around in the room, why is the one getting it and the other one doesn't? That's because we don't understand this connection thing. We think there is a cause and there is an effect, but it's not like that, you know. And astrology proves that as well. It's about everything is interconnected, you could say. Everything is connected with each other, and that's why it has this synchronicity aspect, you could say, as well. If you don't understand it and you live in Belgium or in the Netherlands, you can read one of those books, you know, of Melly Uildert. It's a bit old. It's a bit old-fashioned, you know. Also the language there. But she explains it very, very well, the differences between all the levels. She also starts with actually the first level, which is your environment, and then she goes like, you've got the environment, then you've got the body, then you've got the mental, you know, your mind energy, and so on, up until your soul, you could say. And she says the higher you go, if you work on those higher levels, all the rest will follow. But I think you have to work on all of them and do your effort there. So you can start with the environmental, which will help you, but will not solve the problem. For instance, you can have problems with let's say your environment. You're working in a landscape and there is this air conditioning going on all of the time, and you're getting problems, you know, with your sinuses, for instance. So your environment is causing this, you could say. So the environment, you can say, you can point towards the environment and say, this air conditioning has to go, or you go. You know, but you see, it's a sign. It's some sort of sign that is saying you need to change something here, what you are doing. And it's not about you're doing something wrong. No. It's not because we are ill. Yeah, I did something wrong in my life. That's rubbish, of course. I mean, that would put a lot of blame on you and a lot of and that. Excuse me, that doesn't help anybody. But so you can do something on your environment and then you don't have those problems anymore. But very often when people do that, just changing the environment, the problem in a very strange way comes again. So because something was not understood on a bit of a deeper level, or you could say a higher energetic level. The same, but you can do something about it with that environment, and it will help you definitely. Then you've got on the physical level, and also the level that doctors are working on, and the level that and there are good doctors and bad doctors, like there are good astrologers and bad astrologers. I mean, it's very difficult to say, but they are working on this physical level, and of course, like nutrition is also very important on that level. I started, for instance, to drink more water. To drink more water, I didn't do that enough. So clean water, good water, and lots of it. And I know these are very basic, but they do help. And nowadays it's difficult. It's difficult to with the Monsanto thing, and to buy clean food and good food. It's taking a lot of time, and a lot of people, I can understand if you're having 4 kids, for instance, and a very busy life, and to go to the supermarket and pick out those good vegetables, and to spend so much time on it can be a bit of a downer, you could say. But it is a part that is very important, and that's where my friend helped me out. The nutritionist. She is a Gemini. She has the Sun in Gemini with Moon in Scorpio. And what I like about that combination, I know a lot of people who have that actually. And that combination is so interesting because you've got the Gemini energy that picks up all kinds of energies and information. And then you've got the very Scorpio intuitive kind of energy. They know things on a belly level, you could say. And so I was talking to her when I had these problems, and she said, when I hear your story, and with her laser scorpionic eyes, she said, you're lacking magnesium and you're lacking vitamin B. And I thought, great. I don't know anything, although I'm a Virgo. I don't know a lot about health, but I just took it and immediately it worked for me. And she said that apparently 80% of men and women, they have a lack of magnesium. And magnesium is there because I was very anxious because of what was happening with me. I was very anxious, and I don't want to go through it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to, I don't want to heal. I don't want to go through the pain, which is impossible to heal, of course. But that helped me to strengthen my muscles, to relax my muscles as well. Magnesium is there to help to relax the muscles. And if you take it in combination with vitamin B is very good for your nervous system. So, because our nervous, and I think a lot of people will have a shortage of that, because we have a lot of stress in these days. We have a lot of stress of all kinds of things, and that's why these two, vitamin B for your nervous system, to calm you down, and magnesium, it is a tremendous help. I feel a totally different person because of that. But of course, it's not only because I took the magnesium and the vitamin B, which I had literally a shortage of. So it's complementary. So it does help, but you need to do more work than just that. You need to not just rely on, okay, this is the vitamin, and it's like a pill, you could say. I take the vitamin and I'm healed. I don't think it works that way. I think it's a bit deeper than that. So what else did I do? In those times, I also read a lot, and astrology works on, I think, one of the highest level to understand. I had a lot of understanding because of that as well. So what was happening at this particular time, you can see that very well in a chart. I mean, it's very obvious. It's very obvious. I've seen a lot of people also lately, friends and clients, who've got Sagittarius planets, especially the Sun and Mars, or an ascendant, or like in my case, my progress moon there, and with Saturn there crossing over it. A lot of people who are having teeth problems, back problems, the bones in the teeth, the structures of the person. So that helps a lot, because in astrology you can think of, okay, the structure, there needs to be some restoration of the structure, you could say. So in that thing, it helps you as well. Now, and another thing was this, what my friend did, the difficult name of the jiatsu thing. Again, you must be open for that to try that out, because I can imagine it's because I know her and I trust her that I want to do this. I would never do this with someone that I don't know. I mean, I have Venus in Scorpio, so I'm not really open when it comes to feelings and when it comes to show what's all in there, and that's a lot. So yeah, you need to do that with someone again who's got a very good Jupiter somewhere that falls into your chart that is really good for you. And what she did is working on an energetic level, working on the how do you call that? You know, those points in acupuncture and whatever, the meridians. Is that the word? I don't know, but. And that was cleaning up a lot of emotional baggage, you could say. So that's the emotional body. That's the emotional body, and that's and that can be from years and years and years that you just store, a lot. So that is cleaned. So I think I'm not going to say that is the best solution to do all these things, but sometimes, often, I see like friends of mine. I see that there's a friend of mine who has the disease now of how you call it, multiple sclerosis, which is a really tough one, a tough pill to swallow. And he's very rational, and he's very, he just thinks that nothing can be done. You know, he just thinks, okay, I will have to wait, and nothing can be done. That can be done a lot. The body is very, is designed to solve its own problems, you could say, on a physical level. And of course, you must be rational. But there are things like what I've just mentioned, who can help you, who can improve your comfort, who can... so that the process of the healing doesn't have to be that bad, doesn't have to be that painful, whether it is literally or emotionally or whatever. So is that what I want? Oh yes, and what another thing? I have a sister who is a herbalist, and that also helped me. So I think that's also a bit the physical, but already a bit higher level. And don't forget the mental level. I mean, our minds, you know, when we think very, very, very negative, that's going to show up some way in your body. Of course, you don't have to be a very, you don't have to have a university degree to understand that. But she's a herbalist, and she gave me some herbs as well. Actually, it's one that I always use when I'm feeling a tiny little bit getting ill, which is echinacea. I'm going to put a link below of that plant, what it's all about, because I don't know if that is the same pronunciation. And that helps to help your body to help itself. And there's another one, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want to make any PR here for these products. But it is called, I think it's the Latin name. It is called Ribes nigrum. Ribes nigrum. And it's also for chronic diseases, so and inflammations. So it also helps actually to help your body, to help itself. So I also took that. And of course, body and mind is related to each other. When you feel that you're doing something for yourself, and when you feel that you're working on yourself, yeah, you probably will get a little bit better. So that was my little story. I hope that, well, a lot of people asked me. A lot of people did contact me via email, and so that's why I'm giving a little bit of information there. I hope it was useful in a way. My message is very clear. Do your own exploration. Don't sit still. Well, sometimes you need to when you're very, very ill. Maybe in the beginning, like with me. I mean, I couldn't do a thing anymore because it was so painful. But and that's also a message, isn't it? But yes, explore a little bit. Do like the Sagittarian. Explore a bit here, explore a bit there, and see the bigger picture of it all. Having said that, I wish you a very good day, a very good moon in Sagittarius day today. And so you will be seeing the videos of the monthly horoscopes a bit earlier. If I'm going to do December a bit later on, hang on there. Thanks for watching. Give me some comments. You know, I'm always open to learn new things. And thanks again. Bye-bye.